And does anybody know what a doughboy is? Besides the Pillsbury Doughboy? Well, what they called soldiers during this time of certain units were doughboys. So a U.S. soldier was referred to as a doughboy. And it was a term that was largely only used during World War I. During World War II, it turned to a GI. This time, a lot of political cartoons came out, as they always do, about various political aspects of the world. And so this one was about the 14 points that Wilson had created. So what do you guys think that this political cartoon is trying to say? Or can you tell?
What's the other book say?
It says the big book is Make the World Safe for Democracy. And then the smaller book is,
It says, to the victors belongs the spoils.
yeah. And then the little kid, if you can see on his pants, it says the Allies. So it's the Allied nations that are reading the Book of Women. And then it says, today's problem, what shall we do with, I think, yeah,
Germany's colonies.
Germany's problem. So what do you guys think this cartoon is depicting about Wilson and his? I think, yeah, that's a good point. He has his own view of what should be done about democracy and what everyone else has. Yeah, it's are controlled within them. And also to make sure that we didn't turn into somewhat of like a dictatorship that starts to happen. And then throughout the whole process of the treaty, Wilson suffered from a stroke, which led to him not really being able to do much about advocating his thoughts. And as a result, the treaty was defeated in Congress, and the U.S. decided not to join the League of Nations. And so they had the League of Nations, but the U.S. was not part of it. And many thought that as a large problem because at this time, the U.S. was becoming one of the superpowers in the world, and they thought that the League of Nations wouldn't really be effective if the U.S. was not involved. So what do you guys think about these different groups, like the reservationists and the irreconcilables? Do you think they had good causes for their thoughts? Or do you think they should have listened more to what kind of Wilson was saying about peace? Particularly the reservationists, because they had more of a basis argument as to why they wanted revisions within the treaty. Do you agree with why they didn't want the original treaty? Anybody have any thoughts on that? Yeah, like, do you? Yeah. So it's talking about that territory that they restructured. It was he used specifically instead of just generalizing, specifically the nations. And so that has a lot to do with self-determination. What did you guys find was the similarity between the two? The League of Nations. Exactly. So, what was the Wilson's?
Montreal. Thank you.
What was in Wilson's 14 points that was excluded from the treaty? What? Secrets? That didn't say anything about the secret agreements that went on. Anything else? Freedom of the sea, exactly. It didn't talk about that. So these are some key things that Wilson tried to put in his 2 cents was the League of Nations, and so it was decided. And then I saw that most of you had that, besides that, what the treaty was about was putting punishment towards